So I almost forgot it was Monday. We're going to Orlando tomorrow with the kids. We're going to spend the week there doing some fun things with the kids. So really exciting. Okay, I have a couple things I want to talk about before I hand it over to Amanda. And the first one is Cincy Family Reunion. Lorna and I were looking, and we have, I think, gosh, I forgot the number I told her now, maybe 29. Did I say that number, Lorna? She's like, yes. Lorna, did I say 29 people? Girl, she's not listening. I think we have like 29 people going, and that's not including spouses or guests or anything. So we're going to have a pretty big group. I think last year we had about 19 to 20. So, I mean, by the time we get our guests there and everything, we're probably looking at like 40 people. And right now, I know not everyone is even signed up yet. If we have a little bit of extra time, I'm going to open it up for a couple people that have been to SFR to chat about SFR and why you should go this year in case, well, if you don't know what SFR is, because a lot of you guys are kind of new, it's Cincy Family Reunion, and that is just our annual convention. And this year it is in Anaheim, California, and we actually get to pick a day, and we spend it, we get a day at Disney as well. So if you're a Disney person, you get to go to Disney. I just noticed one of our team members is right here in Orlando at Disney, Jennifer Holding. She's one of my favorite people. And I messaged her. I'm like, you're in Orlando? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, I'm coming tomorrow. So I've never met her. I really hope to catch up with her and hug her neck. I'm not going to Disney. I'm not a Disney fan. So. Anyways, okay, the other thing I want to talk about is
I'm going to have to pay our view.
Or I want to share is that what we're talking about tonight, sorry, I'm trying to mute everyone when they come on. Okay, we're talking about ways to get to 2,000, and Amanda Berry is going to share with us, and y'all, she is nervous, so we all need to smile big for her, but let me tell you what happened to Amanda today. She actually got a call from Jason Harwood. How many of you know Jason Harwood? Beth loves him. She's like, ah. So actually, she had a call on Friday, and he stood her up. And she emails him, and he had, you know, a whole story he had. His wife was sick, and he was at home, and his calendars didn't mesh. If you don't know who Jason Harwood is, you should visit the Cincy Consultant page, and you will see him do a lot of videos. So she had a call with him because she's that awesome, and we get to hear from her tonight. So I can't remember. Have you already hit your 1 year? No. Okay, so she's coming on her 1 year, but she earned the Mediterranean cruise for 2 in 5 months. And that was pretty impressive. I remember when I did the shout outs, I realized, oh my gosh, she hasn't been with us for a year, and she just earned the top level of this. She, like many of us, opted out of that, and she booked a different vacation for her family, which is really awesome. And she's going to be at SFR. But she strives to hit 2,000 a month, and she's going to share ways she does that. And a lot of you may be thinking, gosh, that is just a lot of PRV. And let me tell you, it is. But for me, I know this week, I know I'm going out of town, and I just put my focus on 500 PRV every week. That's what I thought about this month. Like, I didn't want it to overwhelm me, so I just need 500 every week, and then I'll get there. Why do you want to hit 2,000? Because you're going to get a 5% increase in your commission, and that is a big deal. It makes a big deal on your paycheck. You can talk to any of the leaders, and they can tell you they see a difference in their paycheck when they hit 2,000 and when they don't. You also get a charm from Cincy. Right now you get, 2,000 incentive points. I thought I had written something else down, but I guess I didn't. So the other thing I want to share about Amanda is while she's hustling and working her business the way she is, her husband works out of town, and she's home with 3 kids, pretty much without him. So I'm going to leave it to you. I just want you to know she's awesome, and we're really honored to hear you speak. I'm going to mute myself and let you take over.
Thank you. Okay, so don't have to forgive me because I do.
Can y'all hear her?
On my lap,
Can y'all hear her? We can't hear you.
No.
Not wanting big brothers right now. Can everyone hear me? It's a different way. I'm sorry. I'm trying to work with the baby tonight and change this up. So.
Nope, you're fine.
How about now?
I can hear you now. Can y'all hear her now?
Okay. Okay. I had the speaker kind of muted on there. That's how I had it propped up. So, Okay, so the first thing is I do shoot for 2,000 every month. This month I'm actually trying to beat last month's goal, so I'm shooting for 2,500. So probably the first thing that I would say, it's not easy. Don't get frustrated, because I have many times got to the last week of the month and been like, oh my gosh, I'm $600 short or something like that. And then you have to really hustle. So it's much harder to do it at the end of the month than if you do it all month long. Probably the best piece of advice is something that I picked up from Cassie early on, which was front load your month with parties. That, I'm telling y'all, if you don't book parties, if you don't front load, it's almost impossible. I mean, it's possible, but you're going to work hard for it. I try to start each month with having at least 6 to 8 parties booked. It sounds crazy, but if you can do that, even if your parties do not do well, if you just do minimum $200,
We can't hear you.
you're going to have 1,200 to 600 people.
Oh, bless her. The way she's frozen, she'd be so upset right now. Amanda, are you there?
You're going to have
Are you there?
12 yards. That does not. Yes, can you hear me?
Am I the only one that can't hear her? Nobody can hear.
I can't hear her either.
Me neither.
It's like in and out, breaking up.
She keeps freezing and breaking up.
Hear me?
Okay, maybe she'll hop back on. So in case you didn't hear, she was talking about front loading. We've talked about front loading a lot, but I think probably more recently we haven't. And what does that mean? That means you get this calendar out that you've got somewhere and you front load heavy those first 2 weeks. You front load those first few days, because the sooner you can hit your goals in PRV, the better it is going to help you. I'm telling you from experience and from watching so many people do it. If y'all see her hop on, someone interrupt me, because I'm trying to watch, but I can't really see. When we wait to the last day and we're hustling to try and reach 2,000 or paid at title or our 500 or whatever goal you have, it's so much more work on you. And she said that if you're not hitting those parties, then it's a lot harder to hit 2,000. And I made this point last month, I think, in our Rising Stars group. Sabrina had just a few home parties, and she ended up with like 2,500. I don't remember. I can't ever keep up. But she easily was over 2,000, no big deal. I did spend the last day of my month hustling my butt off to get to 2,000, and it was a whole lot of hustle. So what she's saying is so true about front loading your month. So what does that mean? That means, like, right now, what month are we in? April? Ideally, your April is already booked, and you've already started booking for May, June, and July. I know early in my business, I was always booking far out. 3 months, 2 months out. And so when I would message people, I would ask them, I would have dates ready, and I would have a goal. I'm going to offer 10 people to do a party in April, and then I'm going to move right on to May. Or if April wasn't good for them, I offered May. And I didn't ever take no. And I feel like the longer I've been doing this, I take no's a lot easier. But if they're willing to talk to me about a party, we're going to find a month that works for you. And the best way, I don't know, is she back on yet? Anyone see her? We all know I can talk, but the best way to get out of your circle and to get new customers and to meet new people truly is by parties. So that's what she's saying. 2 to 8 or 6 to 8 parties is key. Yes. Are you there?
Okay. Yes. Can you hear me now? Sorry, y'all. I seriously live out in the woods, so I had to come outside on my back porch. This is going to be the night that I have the worst service of all. So if you end up not being able to hear me again, let me know. Okay, so 6 to 8 parties. And like I was saying, if you can front load your month with at least 6 to 8 parties, you've already got 1,200 to 1,600 PRV if they hit minimum. That makes it a whole lot easier on you to just, make up the difference there. Probably the next important thing I would say is follow-ups. I know so many people talk about follow-ups. There's so many different systems, and honestly, everybody has something different. I have 2 more days before my 1-year anniversary, and I have probably tried 3 to 4 different follow-up systems in that time. You just have to find what works for you. I have one now, and I kind of do a combination of the binder and a Excel sheet. So, I mean, it really just does take practicing sometimes. If one doesn't work, just go to another. But even when you're going through that and switching out, just make sure that you're reaching out to your customers some kind of way. And not just for the order. Follow up with them and make sure that they're happy with the product that they last received from you. That's the main thing I do. Within a week, I try to make sure that I touch base with them. And I don't mention anything about ordering. I don't mention anything about new products. This call or message or whatever is strictly about, are you happy with your most recent order? That's all that is. They want to know that you really do care about them being happy and not just about getting the order. Probably the last thing I would say is share Scentsy in your life. Your customers want to see that you use the product. As long as they're seeing that you're Scentsy, you're going to be the one that they come to when they need something. They don't want somebody that's just trying to push it off on them and not using it yourself. So, I honestly, I post in, on my Facebook page, but I post a lot in my customer page also, not just trying to get orders. I mean, just interactive posts. My darling teenager burned microwave mac and cheese one night. Perfect opportunity for me to show how Scentsy Fresh, the odor scent, worked perfectly to get the smell of that out of my home. I wasn't trying to sell anything. I was just showing them how I used it in my life. That week I got 3 orders for that product just by showing them. And it really was just a funny thing to me because I had a picture of it and everything. So it just kind of shows you that your customers are watching you. They're not just watching for what sales you have or what product you're trying to sell them next. They're watching you to see that you are living Scentsy and not just trying to sell it. And I know I probably talked really fast, Casey, but I was or Cassie, but I was nervous, and that's really all I do.
No, you're good. So someone wants to know, how do you prospect people that you don't know?
I definitely ask your current customers for referrals, and I will give them something, even if it's just like a scent circle in with their next order, or drop it in the mail with just like a, thank you for referring so-and-so to my business. But as long as your customers are happy, they're going to talk about you. They're going to get your name out there, as the person that they use when they need Scentsy. Also doing parties. I've gotten a lot of new customers through parties, because if you're getting them their first order through a party, but then you're following up with them personally outside of that party, that tells a lot of them that you care about them. And it wasn't just about that one-time order from them at their party. You're checking up on them to see if their product was what they believed it to be.
Okay, I was still muted. Sorry. That's so true. And I was talking with someone tonight about that same thing. She has a sorry, someone messaged me and sidetracked me. She was asking the same thing about, well, how do you get new people? I feel like she's new and she's doing amazing, but she feels like all of her circle is getting tired of hearing from her already, in a month. And I said, girlfriend, you got to do parties. And talking about Facebook parties, I told her, add people that RSVP or that interact with you on the party, and don't hesitate just because they don't order. So one of the things I heard last night, I watched a short training. It said, when you go in to do Facebook parties, focus on the oh my gosh, interaction you get with people more than the sales. Take yourself in there wanting to interact with people and getting to know people, and the sales are going to happen. But when you make those interactions, it's true, because the same girl I was talking to last night, I had to remind her, like, she joined my team, but she was a great customer for like a year or two before, and we had to figure out how we even knew each other, and we met each other through a Facebook party. You know, like, I've never even met her in person, but it's the same thing, like referrals, like you were saying. I have people that reach out to me and they're like, hey, I have a friend that wants to join Cincy, like Chelsea Sweets on here. She joined from that. And when the girl contacted me, I did the same thing. When Chelsea joined and she actually did something, I gave the girl that referred her a warmer. You know, I let her pick a warmer and I gave her. You've got to treat people good, you know, whatever that means for you. And I'm not saying go give someone a warmer, but I mean, a recruit's a big deal. So to me, that's a much bigger deal than a $25 order. So yeah. And at that point, it was a couple years ago. And I, you know, talked to my husband, okay, what do we want to give this person? You know, because you don't want to, oh no, I say don't spend money, make money. But that's a really good point. So Amanda, what kind of parties do you generally do?
Facebook parties are probably my main one, but I do have, you know, more and more home parties here lately too, because I've tried to spend more time letting my customers know home parties really do so much better than Facebook parties. People love the hands-on, getting to smell the testers, getting to touch the product, and actually check it out. But I honestly do more Facebook parties just because in our area here, that's what people typically do more, especially now with baseball season.
Well, see, that's a good point right there. Like, a home party does not have to be where I'm going to take my big kit and I'm going to set up and I'm going to do a big presentation. A simple party could be, it's baseball season. Let me take these testers and catalogs and collect orders while I'm here. I saw on Facebook yesterday someone had done a party at Panera, and all the girls met for lunch and they sniffed Cincy, and boom, she had a qualified party. So think outside the box and stop, because a lot of times people hear party and it kind of like stresses them out a little bit and they run. So if you try and make it fun, oh, you're having a girls' wine night? Let me just go over and they can smell. I don't even have to talk. I personally prefer home parties where you don't need me to give you a big presentation. I would prefer you to smell and then ask me questions.
Yes, me too.
So go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to ask a question.
Yeah, sorry.
So you said your follow-up system, you use the binder system, but you also said you do something else. Is that what you said?
Yes, I created an Excel spreadsheet. And what I do is I actually keep all of my customers' info in there, and I have tabs out alphabetically so that if I want to find a customer quickly, I can just go like to the B's, you know, and I could find that person by their last name. That it works for me in a way that what I do is after I close every party, or if I get like at the end of the week, I'll check my online orders and I add a new customer to that. That way I have like a column for the date that they last ordered. And if I'm going through and I want to send some mail outs or do whatever, I can just kind of skim through each page. Now, if they haven't ordered in 3 to 4 months, I just remove their info from there. I will reach out to them one last time, either by mail, by text, Facebook message, whatever. And I'll say, you know, just, hey, it's been a while since I've heard from you. Just wanted to know if you needed anything or something like that. But if they don't respond through the rest of that month, then I just remove the info from there, because I do customer mail outs monthly.
What do you send out in your customer mail outs?
I usually do the monthly brochure and a felt sample. I
that's a good
don't
idea.
do too much than that just because of the cost of postage.
Yeah.
And usually I get responses from it, at least 3 to 5 responses each month.
So one of the things, whatever goal it is that you have for PRV or for PRV, let's just say you have a PRV goal, whether it's 500, 1,000, or 2,000. I mean, if you get to 1,500, you need to be hustling to get to 2,000. So I'm not even going to say 1,500 because you get that extra increase in pay. So whatever your goal is, you need to write that down and you need to break it down. Like, okay, well, if I know I want to hit 2,000, like she said, I know I've got to have at least X amount of parties okay, now I need to book these parties. Get these goals written down. I'm telling you, I've been doing this for 4 years and I still write my goals down every single month. They're a little bit different now. Used to, they were in my face in there on a bright piece of paper where everybody that walked in my door could see them at all times. And now I have it more in here. But writing your goals down and how you're going to get there will help you succeed. And something else that I started doing to try and help me get new customers is I set that goal. This month I'm going, if I feel like, oh my gosh, my customers are tapped out, like I don't even know who to contact right now, I know that I need new customers. So what does that mean for me? That means I need a goal. And so I will set a goal that I need $300 in orders from brand new customers. And so when I write that down, that's pushing me to book more parties to meet new people, to get outside of my house and go somewhere to meet new people, or to get on social media. I don't generally post in like yard sale sites very often, but every now and again I will. And I will tell you, the last 2 people that have joined my team last month, they both came from a yard sale site. They both hit shooting stars. And it's not against compliance, just a story. I'm not posting product. But, or those 2 people though, they actually, they were asking on there about making extra money. And generally when people are writing about that, they don't really respond to me. But these 2 people, they responded. I just said, I sell Scentsy. I would love to chat with you more. And they both joined. One's already hit certified and has a team member who's certified. Oh, so she hit lead. And the other is about to hit shooting star. So I don't post, generally I don't post product. And I don't really normally get involved on yard sale sites when people are looking for products unless I am tagged. Daniel, or Amanda, do y'all want to come live? I know they went with their, this is kind of changing the subject a little bit, but they went with their team about the yard sale sites. I don't do a lot on them. There is some kind of compliance thing. Do you want to share with us? I don't even see y'all anymore.
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
I'm trying to pull up the exact wording of it because my team did inquire about that because we see a lot of posting on the yard sales.
Amanda, can you mute your mic? Getting a lot of playback through there. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, can you talk for a minute while I find this?
Yeah, so hey, I love the topic for tonight, and Amanda, you've done a great job. That's some great information. We're doing almost exactly what she described. We're rolling on our trying to go for our 6th month of 2,000 PRV or more in a month, and front loading is huge for us. We were able to do that this month for the first time. That 10% off month kind of killed us, but we were able to meet our goal for the month and go ahead and spend that last week front loading for April. So that is huge. The parties, she's absolutely right. Parties is where the money is. I sell, to anything to anyone that I can whenever I can, but the bulk of our sales come in parties and numerous parties. I was just telling, I've got one of our team members sitting here with us, his first Brave Babble to get on, and it's a great one for him to jump in on. So
welcome.
Yeah, it's Big Rick Sutherland, man. If you haven't heard of this guy, you will before long, I promise. But he, anyways, the parties, I was telling him that the Facebook parties I didn't used to be a fan of. But as I sat back looking over our Facebook parties, all of them have qualified except for one. And the one that didn't qualify, we got a team member out of. So to me, that was a huge success. The home parties have to me, always been successful. We are very meticulous in how we do that. In other words, we let people know that we are doing this to make a living. We make sure that our host doesn't tell her friends or his friends, hey, just come, you don't have to buy anything.
And we got that from Sabrina.
Yeah, Sabrina. By the way, that's helped a lot because when we were first getting into the parties really heavily, we had a lot of people that were there, but they weren't in order. And it's like, okay, why are you even here? Let's get folks here that are going to order. Good presentation. The parties, I've told some of y'all before, we record ourselves doing our parties. That way we can see what's good and what's not good. If we notice that we are losing people or we are stumbling through something, we work really hard to either improve that aspect of our party or we get rid of it. We have learned not to do, identify the things that don't work and quit doing them. So I tell people all the time, especially people I'm trying to get to host parties. A lot of people have hosted parties before. Excuse my French, but they suck. And people can't wait to get out the door and leave. If that's the kind of party you're having, you need to examine it and change it. If you're having parties and you can't get people to leave, if you're just sitting there like, oh my gosh, I wish these people would leave so I can sit down with my host and get this worked out and get home, those are great parties. That is a sign that you had a wonderful party. So as she's getting ready to tell you guys about compliance, but pay attention to your parties. If you're not getting sales at your parties, there's a reason. It may not be you. It might be your host and the way you're preparing your host. Have good parties. Have fun parties. Have parties that people want you to do a party for them. So.
Okay. As far as the compliance goes, Cassie already clarified it. It's not, I don't see anything about recruiting, and I'm not a Facebook police on this or whatever kind of police, and I'm not going to be. My team inquired about this, so I'm just going to read it straight out of standards what it says. You may not list or sell any Scentsy products, resellable or not, on any online retail store, e-commerce site like eBay or Amazon, or online classified Craigslist, Facebook, buy, sell, trade, or yard sale sites. And you may not enlist or knowingly allow any third party, customer, family member, etc., to sell Scentsy products through these channels. So I don't see anything about recruiting or when somebody tags you in it saying, I do, if somebody tags me in it, I'll comment it as long as there aren't 30 other people on there. I'm not going to get in a fight over who's going to get that customer. And recruiting wise, if people are looking for jobs, we have one of the best ones. So I don't see any issue with that either. As far as posting on compliance, it's selling stuff through those yard sale sites and that kind of thing.
Well, I don't know where it's at in there, but unless they changed it, we were allowed to post stuff like the Mother's Day bundles. It's
in yard sale sites.
Yeah, if it comes off your website, correct me if I'm wrong, someone, but I'm pretty sure that was okay. Where's Sabrina? She knows. She's not on here. Pretty sure that was okay.
I don't think so.
Well, darn.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so what it says is you can post something like what you're talking about, the Mother's Day bundle, but it has to be that link that takes them directly to your website. And it can't be anything that you're like, hey, I've got this bundle at my house and I'll meet you in town with it.
Right. It can't be a personal special. And that goes for our Facebook page too. As far as the parties go, Amanda, I think you did an awesome presentation on that, because I've learned a lot by watching Sabrina and listening to what Sabrina says, and hostess coaching is huge. And the other thing I learned is always provide the opportunity to join and then host and buy. Of course, always those three things, because you never know who is going to, I don't know if Ashley's on here. She usually tries to get on, but she joined us. We didn't know her. She joined us through a Facebook party that we did for people that we don't know. And it was really awesome. But had we not offered that opportunity, we wouldn't have gotten a great number on that either. So always offer the opportunity.
And also realize what potential there is in parties. And I'm just going to tell you, we did a Facebook Live party for some folks in Langley, Virginia. We did not know them. We live in Texas, a long way from Virginia.
Yeah.
But that party did almost $500.
Is he familiar to you?
So, sorry, I was like looking to see what's going on. Anyways, recognize the potential of the parties and learn all the different types of parties that are out there. Don't limit yourself to one. So if you're uncomfortable with doing, let's say, a home party, do 10 of them. Because by the time you get done doing 10 of them, you're going to be comfortable with them. And if you're not comfortable doing bingo, do 10 of them. Because by the time you get done with 10 of them, you will be comfortable with them. Not only will you be comfortable with them, but you will know your product in and out.
Even if that's not your thing, because your team, that might be their best thing ever, and you could be able to help them with that. Like, not to throw you out here, but Cassie doesn't like to do home parties, but she still knows how to do a home party because she has a team that she leads, and so we need to know how to do team parties, right? Home parties. Team parties are fun too.
And then if you go and you try this whole team party thing or 10 party thing, it's gonna take you all the way back, and you're gonna be at 2,000. Because if you do a home party, you're there. One of the girls I was having a talk with tonight, she was really stressed out about her Facebook party. And she said, what do I do if it doesn't qualify? So I told her what I do if it doesn't qualify. And then she says, have you ever had any that haven't qualified? And I'm like, girl, yes. And she's like, oh, okay, I feel better. If you have a team, remind people they are not alone. Like, we all have those parties like that. Anyone else have a question for Amanda Berry? Amanda works very hard every month to get paid at title. She's currently a superstar consultant, and she will be a director this year, right? Yes. Lucky number 10, I think. I think you'll be number 10. Maybe you'll be number 11. I can't remember how many we have now. So one of the things, so what she said was she front loads 8 to 10 parties. She follows up. A lot of people do events. So when you bring all those in together, even if you don't do some of them, like, whatever you do in your month, make sure you're having parties and make sure that you're following up. Don't forget to follow up, because that's key. And right now, when we have these bricks and the Mother's Day bundles, those Mother's Day bundles are a hot item with some half offs. I don't know why I just said that. With this, I'm looking at y'all. That's what's distracting me. With like how it says how much you're saving on them, right? Like, however much you are. I don't even know. So that's that. Beth, about the bingo party, there's a link on, you can go look at on Steps to Success. That's not it. I'm Amanda. Head. She just.
It's Online Steps to Success.
I'm mixing it up with an event I want to go to. And they do a full video on it, and it's really great. And I'm even doing bingo parties on my Facebook parties, and I'm changing them now where my Facebook party is primarily live. And then I do bingo while I'm on there as well. Amanda, do you want to add anything else?
I don't think so. I think that was everything. Thank y'all for listening to me ramble. I don't do well speaking, so.
Oh my gosh, you did great. You would have never known you were nervous had you not told me.
Okay.
Well, I have a question. Is that what is it? Online Steps to Success? Is that a Facebook group?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a group that we've shared a lot of times, so you'll probably recognize that. You may even follow it already when you go to it. They do trainings every Tuesday night, Allison and Brian Dalkey. Does anyone else have any questions or anything you want to chat about? Yeah, yes. I can invite you to it. Yep. Who? What?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, I've got two things. So first of all, there's power in the parties, because if you're one of these people that, like me, I do a lot of individual sales, having to give that individual sales pitch and product presentation to 10 to 15 different people 10 to 15 different times. When you get a party set up, you're doing it one time for however many people you have there. So you're saving yourself time, which is always great. So there's power in your numbers. The second thing, the bingo, folks. I was talking to Eric and Karina Porter. They are star consultants down in South Texas. We're going to be in South Texas at the end of this month, and they are going to work on putting together a 20-person bingo party. They are star consultants, but they didn't get paid at title last month because their numbers weren't there. And so we were talking this morning about what they've got to do to get paid at title. And one of their things was their individual PRV. And I told them, I said, look, this bingo is the way there. I said, you need to sell $500 a month or 500 PRV a month minimum to get paid at title. And their team, I don't know if any of them are on here right now, but every person on their team is active right now this month. So, which is amazing. They were active last month, all but one, but they didn't get paid at title. So we are going to kick off a bingo with them. They're going to do the whole tacos and margaritas and do a bingo thing. And
still in Shannon Cisco.
I am still in Shannon Cisco idea. By the way, cook up some tacos and have some margaritas and play some bingo. You're going to be amazed at what happens.
Especially for Cinco de Mayo.
But I was teaching them the numbers, requiring people to pay the $30 to come to that. And I was talking to Eric. I said, y'all need $500 minimum. How many people do you need to RSVP for that party and show up to hit your PRV goal. You got to start thinking like that. We always talk about goals. Amanda Berry was talking about her goal. You know, you've got to know what your goal is and then figure out a way to get there. Don't just, parties is obviously going to get there, but figure out, I need 14 people at this party to pay a minimum of $30, and I will reach that goal. And when you do that, you can attack that and you can achieve it. So look into the bingo. It's for real. Facebook parties are great too.
Yeah, so if you are confused about the bingo, you should really go watch the video. The whole being paid, they get Scentsy product, but the video that Allison Dalkey does is literally on point. We probably could not even explain it any better than she does. She even puts everything she uses right there, so it's right there for you. The other thing, if you're local to me, I think I only see one person. Oh, no, two people. On Friday night, we are doing a mock, but not really mock. We're going to play bingo. There's going to be prizes. We're going to have fun. We're going to do it as a team here at my house, anyone that you're local, and we're just going to host bingo. That way you can all leave my house, and you can leave my house, and I feel confident even, because it's very out of my comfort zone as well. I'm very honest about that, but you guys can come and you can learn it. And you know what? We could probably stick live up. And you may not be able to hear or see very well, but we can.
That would be great if you could do a live with it.
We'll just have to get Sabrina to do one on your team page, since we're all on different pages now. Or we can just do a Zoom link.
Yeah, Sabrina, we were at lunch today. She was talking about doing it on Zoom or something. So.
Okay.
Hey,
Because you
so
can't come, right?
So we have our team training on the 22nd, and we are going to do a bingo at our team training, so we can at least record it, if not do it live. We want everyone on our team, which we're at 51 now. We want everyone to know how to do that. So 51 plus spouses. So we want everyone to know how to do that, or how we do it. And I know that me and Amanda do it a little bit different than Richard and Shannon, and everyone's got to make this thing their own. I will tell you, I encourage you to watch the training by the Dalkeys. It's amazing. But I will tell you, don't be afraid to change it to fit you. For example, I don't suggest telling people that they're going to get a 6-pack of Scentsy wax when they come, okay? I'm just telling them, look, it's $30 to come. And then when they get there, we're offering an extra set of bingo cards, because there's 6 rounds of bingo. We're offering an extra set of bingo cards for $10. And then once we get started with the bingo, we let them know that they are going to get $30 of Scentsy credit. I don't tell them they're getting a 6-pack of bars. They may not want a 6-pack of bars. You may get people that don't even come to your party because they don't own a warmer. So I don't even tell them about the Scentsy credit. I tell them, look, we're going to eat, we're going to drink, we're going to have fun, we're going to play bingo. It's $30. When they get there, I offer them an extra set of cards for $10. That means they're getting $40 in credit instead of $30. That card didn't hardly cost us anything. So don't be afraid to make it your own. Find out what works for you and your people in your area, and then have a blast doing it. We did it for 14 people. That party was over $600, and nobody wanted to leave.
And if you're hearing them and you're like, and you hear me and you're like, gosh, I wish I was local to one of them, let me tell you, do it yourself. Especially if you have people local to you. Get out of your comfort zone and do it. Many times people hold themselves back from doing group gatherings or anything because they're not here in Florida. Or now I guess that's your team, Daniel and Amanda's team are doing get-togethers. Do it yourself. And if you're not comfortable, partner up with another person in your local area and plan them, because they could be a really great tool to get to know people, build those relationships, and to learn. So Amanda Berry, thank you so much again. We really appreciate it. And I cannot wait to meet you at SFR. See, this is the great thing about Scentsy, about the Zooms when you show up. Like, there are so many people, like, I've never met Amanda, but I sure love her, you know, and like, we're going to meet for the first time at SFR, like so many of you guys. So it's a great experience, because then when you see them, you're like, I feel like I know you already. You're a lot shorter than I imagined, you know?
Damn.
Oh, you are. That's funny.
For inviting me, and thanks for everyone for listening.
Yes, so I will post the recording to your directors, and they'll put it on your page. Thanks, guys. Bye.